Hello guys, welcome again to my world of programming. My name is Tumikladi, and what's on the agenda today? So I had a morning session this morning, and I'm gonna do evening session, right? I just decided, you know what, let's talk about the controllers. So we're gonna do part one of looking at what controllers are in ASP.NET Core MVC. So I'm gonna do this showing a real life system already in production. That's what my tutorials are all about, or my tutoring sessions are all about. So before we continue, please visit this YouTube channel. There you'll find it very interesting, I can guarantee you. Now, all the videos I am currently making are all uploaded on Licensed Henny Tips YouTube channel, right? They're short, simple, and straight to the point. Good. You can watch them uninterrupted. So, what are controllers? Let's do a little bit of, the knowledge from, the best out there. So, a controller is used to define and group a set of actions. It's very important. Used to define and do what group set of actions. An action or action method is a method on a controller which handles requests. Controllers logically group similar actions together. So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna start with MVC like I said, and I think we should do controllers. We're gonna go for topics, right? So what is the first thing that you see? Inside the controller, whatever class name that you give to be a controller has to be the name of the class that starts and ends with the controller. It's very important. If you are working with the MVC framework, it needs to inherit it from controller. Please, I'm doing part one. I want you to watch part two because I want you to look at how similar yet different both the frameworks are, especially when it comes to controllers. And also, I want you to understand something. They function similar but different based on the needs, right? So now I do have a global variables. So this is where now I'm asking the topics service to help me further process the request, right? And then all the controllers should have what? A constructor, where we are injecting this interface using constructor injector, right? Then we have the actions that we read about. The first one is, and this is very important, when it comes to MVC, please decorate this guy with attributes. This is HTTP GET. It's very important that you make sure you understand this is HTTP GET, right? And they should all be publicly exposed. And then you can write a code that it's flexible when it comes to asynchronous programming, right? And then the return type, it's iAction result. Please note that as well, right? So this is going to be the name of the method or the action of which it should correspond with the view. So when it comes to MVC, it functions different because when we look at the topics, whatever name of the controller, this guy, it should be the name of the folder inside the views. That's how it's supposed to be when it comes to MVC, right? Inside, whatever name of an action index, it should correspond with the Razor view page, index.cshtml. That's only way it can work, right? So I have this guy where it's just gonna get all the topics. So inside, it's always the best practice to have a try and catch block. Now, I made a video where we talk about Sentry, where we are collecting metrics, but also crashes. Like it's a centralized portal. Please go and watch that video. Like I said, there's a juicy stuff here, right? So I'm trying to do this guy with the helper of the service. And then if everything is good, then I'm gonna get the results and return the view, right? If not, then that is gonna be logged as an issue. Then this is the info, right? Where I'm getting one specific topic. You'll see that in a second. Try and catch block, right? This one is an add. Now let me show the difference between these two. So this is HTTP GET and this is HTTP POST. And when it comes to the POST, for security, you need to have another attribute that says validate anti-forgery token. This will protect you because I look at stuff like this. Right, so let me show you with an example. The project is running. So let's quickly go to the topics. As soon as I click here, topics, the index action gets to be executed to get all the topics with the helper of the service, right? As soon as I click it, let's say car accident, right? I'm getting a specific information about this particular topic, right? Now let's go back. But as soon as I click add, the first part of the add, which is HTTP GET, this guy is the one that gets to be triggered. Now, there are times where you just want to return an empty view, which is just a page. Don't do anything. But there are times where it's different, and I'll show you the difference right now. Right? So when you type something there and something there, right? Then you are saying this will be HTTP post, the second part of the add, but they need to be the same. However, the signature has to be different. The method name, the same, signature different, right? And then when it comes to edit, there are two parts, right? We first get what we want to edit. So let's go back. If I click, let's say support system, and click on edit, this is get information of what we want to edit. If I start to make some changes and click save, then the second part will be triggered, which is this guy. Edit, and still the same signature or attributes of add, right? Okay. Then finally, there's a delete. If you want to perform a deletion, let's go and say, okay, let's just choose a random one. Let's say job opportunities. And then we get inside and then we want to delete. I'm not going to confirm that. Cancel. Then that will happen, right? Good. Then I have helper methods. So this guy will help me with showing the toast messages. I also made a video where we talk about what on earth these guys are. But if you note something, they're all private. It's very important because each and every action I do, I trigger a toast message. So they're not publicly exposed outside of this class. Make sense? Good. Another thing about add, right? Like I said, controls are very powerful. One of the things is I'm sending push notifications, right? I'm using Firebase system to send push notifications to the mobile applications, Android and iOS platform. Every time a topic is added, it's gonna say that, listen, a topic is added, right? So it's not just about the services that are helping the controllers to process whatever the request, but we can do a whole lot inside each action method. This is the power of it. Another thing that's worth noting, when it comes to adding a topic, so let's hit cancel and let's hit add, right? To get data here and here, we need a helper from the view model. So this guy has topics view model. It's a helper and it does a whole lot of things, a whole lot. One of them will be this guy, intro to topic path external. So this is something different. Then let me show you. For example, if I were to go to, let's say, share your story, and I were to click this link, that will take me to a specific video which is an intro to this topic. I hope that makes sense. Listen, it's different in MVC, but I hope you understand what goes into it. I can teach you every single thing that it's inside this class. You should also note something. This guy is protected. For you to access it, there's a topics controller. Everything that you see here, it's protected, meaning that you need to be authenticated and therefore authorized. Authentication means you claim to be this person. The system will check that. After the system has verified whatever you claim to be, the system has to check what are you allowed to do on the system. And also, we've made videos talking about that on this YouTube channel. Please go and take a look at them. Right. Like I said, I can teach you all of this, what goes into MVC controllers, because it's a very powerful thing. And then my controllers are clean. Now, the next video, which is part 2, is going to be on the web API side. And I want you to see the similarities and yet the differences. But how learning controllers in a web applications is so powerful. You master the one in MVC, then it's easy to understand the one in web API. Web API, aka backend, aka web service, aka RESTful service. I can teach you all of this for 25 Rand per session. That session is an hour long, any day from Monday to Friday. You tell me about the time, I look at my schedule, then we meet using Microsoft Teams. Sounds good? Tell your friends about me. Anyone who might be interested, send them my way. I'll leave my numbers. Thank you.